Hi, this is Don Brenner, and we're here today with a nice presentation on identity theft and data breach. And this has become a global issue more and more. It's easier to steal someone's identity and their credit history than it is to rob a bank. So with that, we'll go on. Let's look at the scope of the problem for a moment. If we look at the top 10 cities in the United States in order of the incidents reported, Miami had 35,914, New York 23,297, Los Angeles 18,254, Atlanta 12,992, Chicago 11,128, Tampa 9,805, Dallas 9,056, Detroit 8,085, Houston 7,550, and Philadelphia 7,216. Identity theft is on the upswing, affecting about 12 million people a year in the United States at an annual cost of around $18 billion. And that's just the monetary cost. Countless hours spent in trying to straighten out the problems of the damage done. So the real problem is that the culprits are almost never caught and they're almost never investigated. The IRS has its own set of rules for dealing with identity theft. From their standpoint, not every data breach results in identity theft, and not every identity theft is a tax-related identity theft. Tax-related identity theft is one where someone uses your Social Security number to file a false tax return claiming a fraudulent refund. Your tax account is most at risk if the data breach involves both your Social Security number and financial data, such as wages. Data breaches involving just credit card numbers, health records without Social Security numbers, or even driver's license numbers, while certainly serious, will not affect your tax account. But from the IRS standpoint, if it doesn't affect your tax account, they don't care. And you're certainly not going to get any help from them. By the way, let's ignore the fact that by their own admission, they're only answering 40% of the telephone calls that come in, to say nothing of how long you'll be on hold trying to get to someone who has the answer. They do have special forms that have to be recorded and sent to them, and those things are on the IRS website. Be especially alert if you receive a letter from the IRS and advising you that more than one tax return was filed for you, or you owe additional taxes, have a refund offset, or have had collection actions taken against you for a year you did not file a tax return, or that IRS records indicate that you received wages from an employer unknown to you. Bear in mind that those will be from a letter coming from the IRS, and if you get one, you'll know that you've got a problem. There are several areas that we have to be particularly aware of in trying to protect yourself from identity theft. Number one, of course, is the ease of email. Awareness is the key to staying safe. When you're using electronic tools like email, make sure you don't open spam and delete all spam emails, as these could contain viruses that can put your confidential information at risk. Keep your antivirus software up to date to ensure that it protects your computer or mobile device from the latest threats, and make sure you never send a credit card account number or Social Security number to anyone via email. One of the other things that I like to be sure of is if you're buying something from an email vendor, I don't like to open accounts on there. I don't like any information stored on their servers. All it takes is a few minutes for you to enter the thing on a transaction basis. So a word to the wise is sufficient. U.S. mail is another entry point for identity thieves. It's a good idea to shred credit card and banking statements after you're done reviewing them to keep that information from falling into the wrong hands. When you need to mail a check, Be sure you drop it off at the post office or into a secure mail collection box so that the thieves can't steal your mail and access account numbers that way. That means don't leave it out on your mailbox so that the postman can pick it up. One of the ways that people can do things is they send someone around posing as a vendor looking for stuff in the mailbox and steal it that way. Social media. It's another bonanza for identity thieves. To keep your confidential data safe, make sure that you use the strictest privacy settings and keep personal details to a minimum. Think long and hard before you share personal data like your address or phone number. If you're concerned about identity theft, that's a smart reaction to a growing threat. Awareness is the first step in protecting yourself. Use common sense safeguards as limiting the information you share online and shredding bills and statements that contain financial information. A good, big, heavy-duty shredder is one of the best investments that you can make. Here's a few tips how to protect your Social Security number and other identifiable information. Number 1, do not carry your Social Security card in your wallet or purse. Be very careful about sharing your number, even when you're asked for it, and only share your Social Security number when absolutely necessary. If someone asks for your Social Security number, refuse to give it. If they indicate that it's policy, then do business with someone else. The only people that need it are the government agencies, your employer, of course, and maybe a bank, but that's about all. Protect your personal and financial information at home and on your computer. And check your credit report annually. Check your Social Security Administration's earnings statement annually. And protect your personal computers by using firewalls, anti-spam and virus software, and update the security patches and change passwords for your internet accounts. And protect your personally identifiable information. Keep it private and only provide your Social Security numbers when you initiate the contact and when you are sure that you know who's asking. Other than that, nobody needs to know it. Be on the lookout for some of the most common scams. If you receive an unexpected email purporting to be from the IRS, it's always a scam. The IRS does not initiate contact with taxpayers by email or social media to request personal or financial information. If you receive a scam email claiming to be from the IRS, forward it to phishing@irs.gov. That's phishing, not fishing @irs.gov. If you get an unexpected phone call from someone claiming to be an IRS agent, either threatening you with arrest or deportation if you fail to pay immediately, is a scam. In another variation, the caller requests your financial information in order to send you a refund. Report these calls and other IRS impersonation schemes to the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration at 1-800-366-4484 or online at IRS Impersonation Scam Reporting. If you discover a website that claims to be the IRS but does not begin with www.irs.gov, forward that to phishing@irs.gov. That's phishing @irs.gov, not fishing. Here's some clues that you might want to watch out for that someone may have stolen your information. If you see withdrawals from your bank account that you can't explain, if you don't get your bills or other mail, or maybe merchants refuse your checks, or debt collectors call you about debts that aren't yours, you find unfamiliar accounts or charges on your credit report, or medical providers bill you for services that you didn't use, or a health plan won't cover you because your medical records show a condition you don't have, or the IRS notifies you that more than one tax return has been filed in your name, or that you have income from an employer you don't work for. Or maybe you get a notice from that your information was compromised by a data breach at a company where you do business or have an account. Be sure to take these things very seriously, because a lot of them are an indication that the condition may have existed for some time. Exactly what is it that thieves are looking for? Well, they want usernames, they want passwords and PIN numbers. The prize of all is your Social Security number. They want phone and utility account numbers, bank and credit card numbers. They want employment and student identification numbers, driver's license and passport numbers, professional license numbers, insurance identification numbers, and college or university financial aid form information. Basically, they want anything that they can use in order to steal money from your account. And remember, they can do a lot of damage with just a credit card account. Our last slide gives the web addresses of the 3 credit reporting agencies: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Also, you can get a lot of good advice from the FTC Complaint Assistance.gov and, of course, IRS.gov. But remember, IRS doesn't care about you except to get their taxes. There's several other things that you need to especially keep in mind, because the sooner you get on top of any of this stuff, the easier it'll be. Look at every entry that appears on your credit card statements, or any merchant statement for that matter. Look at all the entries on the bank accounts when you reconcile the bank account, and understand what everyone is for. If you don't know what it was for, question them. And if you have any reason at all to suspect it, remember, not only do you have to contact the credit reporting agencies, but you have to contact and notify any of the vendors who may have also been victims. So call them, close the accounts out, and set up new ones. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to get in the midst of one of those repairing your credit and identity. So with that, I hope this has been helpful, and we'll look forward to another presentation next week.